Hey guys, Richard Butler here, and of course it's Thursday, which means business lesson time. Now it's been quite a while since I did a business lesson because I did take some time off over Christmas just to relax and enjoy. In fact, I took 3 weeks off and it was great. But I'm back. Now, before we get started, remember, like this video, subscribe to this channel, join my VIP list for exclusive videos and trainings and inside information about me and my business and how everything is going. Now, last week I talked about domain names and about hosting, and this week I want to talk about your website because I've heard some awful stories from clients that I've had on calls who have said to me, I've spent $15,000 on my website and it's not producing any income. So let's talk about your website. What do you need on your website? Well, the first thing that you will have on your website is the home page. That is the first page that somebody comes to when they actually visit your website. So when you go to richardbutler.coach or internetbusinessdemystified.com, the first page you see is the home page. That page should have some information to grab you so that you read the whole page and find out more about what this person can offer. So don't put in something like welcome to my website because that's boring. Put in something like, ethical reviews of internet products. Oh, okay, well that catches the attention. And then you get people to read down about what you offer. So talk about what you offer rather than who you are first. On the homepage, you will have a navigation, a top navigation, which will link to a number of pages. Now, there's a number of essential pages that you do need to have. For example, about, so that people can find more information about you. A products page when you have products ready. A services page for the services that you offer. Contact page so that people can contact you. And you may have a heading to legal pages because you do need to have, or you should have, legal pages on your website about cookies, etc. Depending where you're located, make sure that you have all of the correct legal pages. If it's for GDPR, which is the European Data Protection, or if it's, for example, in Canada or in the United States or other countries. Now, we obviously I think we can't cover all countries and all regions, but as long as you have some legal pages like a privacy page, a cookie page, maybe a terms and conditions page, and you can actually buy a plugin. I'll have a link to it in the description. You can buy a plugin if you have WordPress that will actually create all of these pages for you. What's most important probably about your website is to get a nice design. Now that doesn't have to be expensive because if you build your site on WordPress, what you can actually do is you can use a lot of the free themes. And if you employ somebody, if you go to Fiverr.com, maybe for $100 you can get a pretty decent looking website built. You want something basic, you don't have to worry about it being an e-commerce website, etc., because that is more expensive and more complicated. But you do need to think about some sort of presence, so when people type in your name or the name of your product, they will find your website and some information about it. If you do use a theme, a lot of the themes come with dummy text on the actual website, so that the about page has dummy text, the testimonial pages have dummy text, etc. You want to make sure that you either remove those pages or you edit them, because the worst thing is when you go to a website, you find the About Us page and it has ipso lorem text in it, which is the Latin text just to fill up the page when you're actually trying to show the layout, etc. So make sure that all of that has been removed. Either remove the page until you have it, have the correct text, or make sure that you actually just delete that page. Now, speaking about that, if you go to get somebody to design your website, make sure that you give them all the text. Make it as easy for them to copy and paste the content into the website rather than them having to come back to you and say, well, what do you want on the About Us page? Can you give me more information about X or Y or whatever it may be? Because that makes things very, very difficult then, and more expensive, because a lot of these people will operate on a time basis rather than a fixed fee. Once you have that up, you want to make sure that you have a contact form. Again, if you're using WordPress, this is probably the simplest way to have a contact form because there's lots of plugins that you can use to create a contact form. Now be prepared that if you don't have any type of spam protection, you may get a lot of spam email coming in through that contact form, or you may get legitimate inquiries that actually go to spam. So always keep an eye on your spam and think about looking for a plugin that would prevent spam getting onto your system. The contact form should have some sort of information like, we will get back to you within X amount of hours or X amount of days, because people like to know how long it will take before they'll hear a reply. Or you may say, if your inquiry warrants a reply, we will reply to you within 24 hours, etc. But people should be able to contact you. And put in your address on the contact form, because sometimes you just see a contact form and there's no address. You live in apartment 21, 17 Main Street, just put in Main Street, Dublin, Ireland, and that's it. You don't have to put in the number of your apartment. But do put in some sort of contact information, because otherwise it looks as if you're a phony website, and people will judge you, unfortunately, on your website. So you want to be very, very careful with that you do put in your contact details, that you do make the site look very professional. Have a photo of yourself so that people can actually see you, because what I found that a lot of marketers are doing is they're putting up testimonials, they're putting up comments from beta users, etc., and testers, and they actually just use stock photos of people, and that kind of makes you think, well, if they're using stock photos, do these people actually exist? And the actual reviews that they give, are they actually real? So be very, very careful of that. If you have products, make sure that you list out the products, and you may have one page per product, and there is some way for people to buy those products. If you're offering services, I would list the price of the actual service that you offer. For example, if it's coaching, you may say $150 an hour. If it's SEO, you may say packages starting from $450 a month, etc. But do offer prices there, because that will then help to filter potential people who want to buy your product, because those who are looking for something for $10 will just go away. Those who do actually contact you will probably be more serious than other people. So think about that as well. So in summary, you need the homepage, you need an About Us page, a products page if you have products, services page if you have services, a contact page, and then some legal pages. Now, if you have any other questions, just let me know in the comments below. Again, you don't have to spend a fortune for your website. It would be better even just to have one page as the home page with all the information that looked professional, rather than actually having 15 pages on your website. Keep it simple. Remember, KISS, keep it so simple when you're starting off. You don't need all the bells and whistles. You need a basic presence, and that will be enough to get you started. In next week's video, I want to start talking about products and the types of products that you could actually sell, because there are some ways of actually getting ready-made products that you can actually sell, and we'll talk about that next week. Make sure you like the video, make sure you leave a comment, make sure that you subscribe to the channel. Make sure that you subscribe to the channel and join the VIP list, which is in the description, and check out the links to the different resources that I mentioned. And I'll talk to you next week on Thursday, but also on Monday, because I will have a State of the Internet address, and I may actually throw up a couple of reviews this week as well. I'll talk to you very soon. Bye.